the battle of Khandaq, famous battle in Islam where 10,000 mushrikeen of Makkah were fighting with 3,000 Muslims. Whenever they tried to cross the trench, the Muslim archers would easily kill them. And the battle went on for a few days. Salam alaikum guys. Right now I am at the location which is called Saba Masajid, which basically means 7 mosques. And right behind me you can see the Masjid of Khandaq. This is the masjid where the battle of trench happened, or the battle of Khandaq took place. And there are 7 mosques in this location, but there are actually 6 mosques located over here. And the reason for this 6 mosques is they are the location from where the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to monitor the situation of battle. So each location there are different masjid which are made. So as you can see in front of me, there is the mosque, which is the mosque of Salman Farsi radiallahu anh, because his station, his tent was over here. Now Salman Farsi radiallahu anh is the important companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was from Persia. If you would have seen my earlier video about the garden of Salman Farsi radiallahu anh, you would have seen how Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam planted 300 dates in order to get him freed from the Jews. Right on the top you can see the Fath Mosque, where the tent of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was placed. So let's climb up and I will show you the mosque. So if you can see right over there, that is Masjid Fath. This is the place where Prophet Muhammad's tent was there. So they have made it really nice now. You have all these stairs. You can easily climb stairs and go up. And actually if someone wants to come with wheelchair, I just noticed it. They have made like ramp-like structure. You can get your wheelchair like this, like in zigzag way, all the way down. So if you want to read, you can pause the video and read it. And I wanted to tell you one thing, that all these mosques were not there at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These mosques were made later on in the time of Khalifa Umar bin Abdul Aziz. In his time, these mosques are made. And towards the left, you can see the masjid of Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anh, because his tent was situated over there. And if we go a further higher, then there is the tent of Ali radiallahu anh, whose tent was placed over there at that time. Right now I'm inside Masjid Khandaq, and this is a beautiful view of Jabal Uhud from the mosque. Subhanallah. As you have seen in my last video, in the battle of Uhud, Abu Sufyan had won, and because of that win, he was so overconfident that he wanted to make sure that he wipes out all the Muslims, because in his previous battle, in the battle of Uhud, he did not kill Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why this time he wanted to take an army of 10,000 men and go and clear all the people living in Medina. So if you see on the Medina side, the whole population of Medina was not 10,000. So Abu Sufyan started to gather more than 10,000 people from all of Arabia in order to attack Muslim. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to know about this attack, he immediately called an emergency meeting in which all the companions sat and discussed about this battle. So when they were talking about this battle, they told for sure that it is impossible for 3,000 men to fight 10,000 men. That is a time when an entry of very important person takes place in, and that is Salman Farsi radiallahu anh. Salman Farsi radiallahu anh was a Persian companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Salman Farsi radiallahu anh came with a magnificent idea, and he said the 3 sides of the Medina are covered and protected by Jabal Uhud. So we only have to protect which side? The side is the northern side has to be protected. And the idea which he gave was digging trenches, because Salman Farsi radiallahu anh was Persian, and in Persia they used to dig trenches. So he gave this idea of digging trenches, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam liked this idea, and the whole companions got the energy and they got the motivation that yes, they can win this battle. So the Medina was protected on the 3 sides by Jabal Uhud, but only small section was under the control of Jews. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had an agreement with Jews during the time when he was doing the immigration, and the Jews promised that they will protect that area during the time of war with Quraysh. So that's why Muslims did not have any threat from the Jews, and now they could only focus northern side. So the Jews who were living inside the Medina, they were called as Banu Qurayda tribe, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam already had constitution with these Jews and allowed allowed these Jews to follow their religion and have their own law. The idea of Salman Farsi radiallahu anh was accepted immediately, and they had to build now 6-kilometer long trench and 120 feet deep. Now you will be thinking, how long is 120 feet depth? So if you can imagine 8 cars aligned and 5 beneath them stacked, that is how deep is 120 feet. Now there is a miracle time. So let me tell you this story of miracle. So when the Sahabas, when the companion, they were digging the trench, there was a very big stone which no matter how much they were putting in effort was not breaking in. So that is the time when they called to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they said there is a very big stone that we are unable to break through. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam took a big hammer and struck the stone, and he said, Syria is mine and I can vision Syria in front of me. Then he took the hammer for the second time and he struck the stone. And this time he said, I can see Iran and the palaces of Iran are mine. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam struck for the third time heavily and the stones were broken into small pieces. The companions were also shocked on the things which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about the Syria, Yemen and Iraq being under the Muslims, because the Muslims at that time were so weak and these countries were superpower of that time. And the hypocrites of Medina, they were laughing at Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying that the people of Medina don't have food to eat, and they are talking that they will conquer the superpowers, the places such as Iraq, Yemen and Syria. But in the end, the history knows it, that the Muslim later went on to conquer all these places all the way till Europe. And the prophecies which Prophet ﷺ made became true, such as the prophecy of Constantinople. So now on the day of battle, 10,000 mushrikeen of Makkah under the command of Abu Sufyan came to the battleground. And they thought there are only 3,000 Muslims, so we will easily win this battle, because on one-on-one, they are easily going to win. But the mushrikeen of Makkah and the 10,000 army was shocked when they saw a trench in between them. Now it was so difficult for them because whenever they tried to cross the trench, the Muslim archers would easily kill them. And the battle went on for few days, and Muslims used to kill every time anyone came from their side, and it was difficult for them to win the war. But one time the force which Ikrimah was leading, his group crossed the trench and crossed into the area where Muslims were there. But Ali radiallahu anh came front and killed the whole forces out from the area, and the other forces, they just ran back and they thought that they are losing the battle. And Abu Sufyan was also worried that he might lose this battle, even though he was having 10,000 military army with him. So here he played a master stroke. He knew that the Jews did not like Muslims. So he thought, let's go and do a treaty with Jews and tell the Jews who are living within the Medina that you go and attack the houses of Muslims and Muslim ladies, so that the Muslims are in tension, that they stand on the front line or they go back towards their home and fight from there. And that is because the Jewish are the most hypocrite people in the world. They immediately forgot all the treaties, all the commitments and all the agreements, and they told to Abu Sufyan that we are ready for this war and we will help you. And that is when the Jews entered in the homes of Muslims and started to attack them. The betrayal of Jews was unacceptable because they had broken all the ties and betrayed the Muslim. Now the Jews went and started to attack the Muslim houses, the Muslim women, the Muslim elderlies and the children. And in this situation, the Muslim people were in a great difficulty and tension, whether they fight on the front stand or they go back and save their families in the houses. And in this difficult situation, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had to make some decision. And he gathered all the companions and told them that let's make a deal with the non-Muslims and give them 1/3 of the crops that are produced in Medina. The companions were shocked with this decision and they said, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, are you making this decision based on Allah's decision, or is it just to save us and our children? So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, it is just to save the whole Muslim people. So the companions said, like, don't make such a decision. We will fight till the end, and if the death is our fate, we'll go and meet the death. And during this this time Prophet ﷺ made so much dua to Allah that grant Muslim victory. And then a new twist came into the whole war situation when a new person entered into this war situation, and he was Noyam ibn Masood. So he was one of the tribe from the Quraysh, and he came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and he told to him, "Ya Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, I have become Muslim, but the Quraysh does not know about this. How can I help you, or how can I be helpful to you in this situation?" Then Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Do whatever you can do to help us in this situation, because the Muslims are struggling from the both side." And then Noyam ibn Masood said, "No problem." And then he directly went to the Jews and told to the Jews that the mushrikeen of Makkah, the Quraysh tribes, cannot be trusted anytime. And that's why he said, if you want to trust the tribe of Quraysh, tell them to give you something in guarantee, to give you some people from Quraysh tribe as guarantee, so that if tomorrow something happens, they do not just leave you. They do not just leave the Jews and run away, and you're on the mercy of Muslims who are not going to leave you because you had betrayed them, and because of you they have suffered so much in this war. And immediately Noyam ibn Masood went back to Abu Sufyan and said them, "Why do you trust Jews? Jews are people of no one. No one can trust Jews. They had constitution with Muslims, but they broke these constitution for you. Similarly, they'll break this constitution." So Abu Sufyan wrote a letter to the Jews, and he said that now make a complete attack on the Muslims. But the Jews were warned now. So they said to Abu Sufyan, "Send us some people as guarantee, so we are assured." And Abu Sufyan was also knowing that these Jewish people cannot be trusted. So he did not send any people as guarantor to the Jews. And here became a twist. The Jews broke their agreements and allies with the Mushrikeen of Makkah, and they said that we will not support you in this war. And this is the way how the Muslims secured their position within the Medina, because now the threats of the Jews was over, because they were not supporting Abu Sufyan anymore. So now the Muslims were completely back in the war, but still the war was getting very difficult for them, because one tribe of the Jews was cutting off the supplies for Muslims, and the food and drink supplies which had to come into Medina was stopped by this tribe, and Muslims had faced difficulties. Then Prophet Muhammad ﷺ made so much dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant him victory, and that is when suddenly a miracle happened. For 3 days, a heavy sandstorm started to blow, that it blew up all the tents of the Quraysh and all their utensils, vessels, fires. They could not set up anything. And that is when Mushrikeen of Makkah decided that they are going to lose this battle, and they had to flee the battleground. Guys, I hope you found this video really informative, and if you have watched the video till here, make sure that you press the like button and subscribe to my channel, and share this video with all your friends and family who are going to visit Saudi Arabia for Umrah or Hajj.